Hey there, this is Matt from ClickBid, and in this tutorial, I'm going to showcase how to use our new integration with the CRM DonorPerfect. DonorPerfect allows you to manage your donors, giving histories, and all of your nonprofit kind of database of record type stuff. And so ClickBid is able to take all of its event data and move it into DonorPerfect after the event. I'm going to go ahead and choose integrations and dashboard. And I am going to connect to DonorPerfect. I'm going to press the connect button and it's going to ask me for an API key. Where do I get that API key? Well, I go to my DonorPerfect account, settings, user management, click on your user record that you want to use for that API key, and then choose API self-service. Generate a new key, and you are going to get this long random string. Copy token, and make sure that you've got it copied, because when you close this, you're never going to see that again. I'm going to paste that in and press connect. If everything works properly, we're going to make a connection test and it's going to show you a blue connected button. When that's complete, you're going to see a new DonorPerfect menu item with 6 subpages listed. Let's just start at the top and go through them one at a time. So let's go to your settings, and this is going to be your synchronization defaults. So this is where you choose how you want your exported sales to be handled automatically. Now, if you have auto sync turned on, this really comes into play because it's going to take this data and it's going to move it to DonorPerfect using these settings. Now, we're going to talk a little bit about some overrides in just a second, but you have a general ledger code, you have a solicitation code, you have a sub-solicitation code, then you have a campaign that you can choose, gift types, and if you want a receipt. If we turn this on every 5 minutes, we're going to check for new ticket sales or online donations or peer-to-peer or auction purchases, and we're going to move it over to DonorPerfect for you so that everything kind of stays up to date, especially as you have ongoing transactions that don't just happen on a single night. Now, one of the cool things about our export is that you can overwrite specific item types when they get sent to DonorPerfect. What does that mean? Well, we have different types of items in our platform. We have silent auction, live auction items, quantity-based items for like sign-up parties. We have donation-based items. We have tickets, and then we have donated fees. I remember seeing donor covers costs. So this would be, I'm going to put this in the donated fees, donor cover costs. And then campaign, I'm going to do special events. And then gift type, let's just do soft. And you can do this for all of them. So that way, when an auction item goes from ClickBid to DonorPerfect, or a live auction goes from ClickBid to DonorPerfect, you can have different settings because things can get tracked differently in DonorPerfect in your CRM. All right, under data mappings, we have an address type. Just want to make sure when we send you a donor, let's say somebody walks in off the street, or maybe somebody's at your event that maybe they took somebody else's ticket, and we want to add their constituency information to DonorPerfect. We want to make sure to put it in the right address field. And then you can do custom mappings. Custom mappings are great for things. We break it down into donors or gifts, and you can do things like, let's say there's a table seating under bidder. What seat did they sit at? Maybe you have a field in here, so that way when you do another event, to put them next to other people, and you have a part of your reporting tool tells you who sits next to who. So this is a good relationship tool. So we'll let you move that data back into DonorPerfect. Same thing with gifts, fair market value, did the item get picked up, and so on. Those things can get added to your constituent record. Now, one thing that we do offer as a opposite direction. So if you have somebody in DonorPerfect that you want to get added to ClickBid before the event, you can go ahead and add them into ClickBid as a bidder. So you'll see here Jane Doe, John Smith, Robert, and Lisa. They are all imported from DonorPerfect into ClickBid. So let's just move up here. Let's just go to page 5. All right, cool. So Patrick and Brenda, let's just import them. Patrick Adams and Brenda Taylor, let's get them. I'm going to select them, press import. Now, here we go. Let's do imported. Let's filter. There we go. So now they're now imported. So you'll be able to see them under bidders, manage bidders. Oh, Brenda Taylor's right at the top. So there you go. We've added her in. She has a CRM tag, so we know who is from or linked to a CRM record in your bidder table. And so now let's go to export bidders. Let's say we have some people that, again, came into ClickBid the night of the event, but we just don't have them, or they're not linked properly to DonorPerfect data. So I'm going to take, for instance, David Taylor and Sarah Wilson. I'm going to select them, and then I'm going to add as new donors. Now, this is just if, let's say they didn't purchase anything. They came in, maybe they participated in the event, but they didn't buy an auction item or raise a paddle, but we still want their information. So we're going to add them in. And within 5 minutes, we're going to get that data. And again, David and Sarah now have the DonorPerfect IDs. You can see here they're listed. Let's go to export sales. And under export sales, these are actual transactions that happen in the system. So once they've been checked out and processed and reconciled, we can move them to DonorPerfect. Now, remember, some of these are silent auction items, some of these are quantity-based items, some of these are donation-based, live, and so on. And those custom mapping overrides will really help us, especially if we're auto-synchronizing data from ClickBid to DonorPerfect. So sign-up parties, I'm going to go ahead and choose, let's just go ahead and send these over. Now, notice Michael Brown and Emily Davis, we don't have them listed in DonorPerfect. And I know, because of the tutorial that I'm doing, that they are not in DonorPerfect. So I'm just going to leave it as create new contact. But we do what's called a soft match or a fuzzy match. And so notice there are several constituents that have Brown in their last name, and we'll put them here in case maybe the first name was spelled like in an abbreviated name or a shortened name like Mike. So it's not a perfect match, or we don't have a phone or an email address. Then we'll still show it so that you can grab it from the pick list, or you can create a brand new donor. So let's just export. Now, we are going to give you the defaults again, just in case you wanted to push this to DonorPerfect with a different campaign, for instance. And you say, oh, shoot, I didn't mean to do that. You can move that. But if you're using the overrides, just go ahead and hit export sales. And it will say export in process over the next 5 minutes. And our sign-up parties are now in DonorPerfect. You'll notice here that we have 2 new contact IDs. Let's go ahead over to DonorPerfect and take a look. So I'm going to go to Michael Brown. Oh, maybe I did. There we go. 800 Easy Street. I want to live there. Okay, so we have his information. We added it in, his phone, city, state, zip, address. And we have a dot here next to gifts. Let's take a look. We have a auction item, sign up party. These are the fields that we designated that they get added into this gift. And so now we have our gift pushed over to DonorPerfect. All right. That is a good, clean push of data. Now we can go through and you can multi-select all of them if you want, and then you can move them all over again. You can move them all at once. You can move groups, batches, anything you want. We give you full flexibility. Now, if you feel like something didn't get transferred properly, you can always take a look at the activity log. The activity log shows you whether it was an automatic or a manual, what the status was. Did it work? Did it not work? Our dedicated support team that works with CRM integrations can take a look at this, and they're familiar with different things that come through. You can see here that, we do pack a lot of data in here, but this is great for us to take a look at if you have any questions. All right. Well, on that note, if you do have any questions, please let us know. Reach out to us. We're always happy to help. We want this to be successful for you. And then we also have a support article here available in case you want to read or learn more about the integration.